Welcome back to our BoroWalk. Welcome back to Hellberg. We're talking about that win against Derby County. Of course, Matthew says I'm off to IKEA and ordering a large portion of meatballs. How are you all doing? Hope you are well. We are talking about this week, the Christmas fixtures. We're looking at the FA Cup draw. We're putting the letter H into our A to Z. But most importantly, we're talking about Kim Hellberg's first game in charge of the Boro. What did we learn? We've got Jonathan, Sarah, Craig and Sean back with us to run the rule over that win this Saturday. Jonathan, early signs of Hellball, but is it going to look, does it look exciting?
It certainly was. The performance, was a bit hit and miss, and there was some good stuff and not so good stuff, but what I liked the most about it was, the defeat to Coventry was a pretty big disappointment, having played so well, but come away losing. And the team has also got injuries at the minute with half the centre-backs missing. And just for those reasons alone, I love the victory. 1 goal down, coming back to 2-1. And, I'll give Hellberg credit. He picked a team. He put Bangura in, who had an absolute blinder considering he'd been out for 2 years. So I really enjoyed it for that reason. Performance wasn't the greatest you're ever going to see, but at first start, I liked it.
Absolutely. Sarah, do you agree?
Yeah, first 20 minutes was very weird. I had no idea what was going on. I was expecting him not to make any changes at all, and then he changed everything. The system, everything just felt different, and the players obviously struggled a little bit with that. I still don't know how we played. It's really strange to watch, but second half, they never got looking. We dominated the ball. We created more. Still, there's a lot to go, right? He's had 2 training sessions, but it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. If you can just come across the channel, by the way, 20 minutes of Boro chat where we look at all the tweets of social media from Boro games across the week. Here's one for you, Craig. James says, I'm enjoying the start of Hellball. Britain could have easily scored. The keeper pulled off a worldie from Whittaker. Multiple pens turned down again. Makeshift back four. Loads of injuries, and we still won. Did Whittaker get a standing ovation? I couldn't hear. Craig?
Everyone can't kind of disagree with any of it. The coming up to the ground, and I seen the first 11, and I thought, oh Christ, what are we playing here? And then I thought, is Brown going to come into the back, make a back three with Jones and Target, or is it like what we're doing? But it was brave, definitely brave. And like Sarah said, the start was, what was it, a minute, 90 seconds in, horrendous start. And everyone looked confused. Hackney was, I think the pressure of the day kind of affected him a bit, because he was the first half, how he didn't get sent off. Honestly, not for being reckless, not for being dangerous, but the amount of silly fouls and the petulance, and you could see he was just so frustrated, and he was trying to cover every blade of grass and do everything, and nothing was coming off, and he was kicking out here and there, and I can't believe he didn't get yellow in the first half, never mind the red. But once we settled down, it got to half time. Yeah, they've done really well.
Sean Skelton says Riley McGree is effing excellent. By the way, yeah, agree.
Yeah, I love Riley McGree as a footballer. He's just so intelligent. He knows when to make the right passes. He knows when to release the ball. He's always looking to play it forward. I think moving forward, if we can get into a bit of a flow where he's, we understand his body and he understands his body. 2 games in a week is a lot to ask at the moment with him just coming back. But I think if you ask a lot of Boro fans, I think he'd be one of the first names on the sheet if he's fit. But yeah, I agree with the guys. It was all a bit frantic. It was a bit like I couldn't figure out. There wasn't certain patterns of play, or it wasn't pressure building. It was just not kamikaze, but it was it was a bit like a basketball game. And I think he mentioned in an interview that he took inspiration from De Zerbi, and then he said Bielsa, and he said he was sort of probably as closely matched to Bielsa than anyone else. And I was when I saw the lineup, I thought, uh-oh, what's coming? But yeah, it was good. And the other thing, we've lamented about breaking down defenses and the low block and stuff. And we mentioned it a lot last season. And as much as it might have looked disjointed, we kept going and we were trying different things, balled in the box. Good to get a goal from a set play again. So Yeah, we kept going, and I think one team wanted to win the game and ultimately did. I don't think Derby had any interest in, going forward as soon as he scored the goal. So, yeah.
Yeah, as pointed out by Ewan here, says John Eustace is a crime against football. Full credit to those for sticking at it. Target and Becker are absolutely unreal. We don't want to be negative, Jonathan, because it's a great start, and let's be known. But Conway needs discussing, I think, because lots of Boro chat this week has been about that. Where do you stand on him? We don't want to. I definitely don't want to knock the guy because obviously all strikers go through confidence. But this tweet here summed it up. Paul says Whittaker is now our top scorer. Well done, Morgan. He deserves a lot of credit. Conway and Strelic should be going home and thinking about how and why that has happened. Thoughts?
Yeah, Conway's had a lot of opportunity, hasn't he, to do his job, and he's not only in the sense of being picked, but also in the sense of in front of goal. And he's there's that stat now attached to him that he's had the most missed chances out of in the championship. So you'd suggest the evidence says he needs a change, and I'd like to see Strelic go in at 9 for a little run of games and give Conway a break. Not because I'm against Conway, but just to say it's not been happening for him. So why not change it up a little bit? So I would like to see that, but but I'm also accepting. Whittaker had his his problems, and look at the way he's performing at the minute. He's always been an intelligent player. It just took him a few games more than anyone liked to get himself going, and Conway's clearly going through that now. So I think a bit of time out the team and give Strelic a run of games, I wouldn't be against that at all.
Just quickly on Morgan, Jonathan. I know the answer to this question, but do you have any problems with him not celebrating with his own fans and running towards the Derby end and doing his celebration there?
No, I like like Sean was saying about McGree being an intelligent player. Although Whittaker, he might seem a bit soft and get knocked off the ball a bit. That obviously antagonises fans off the ball. His movement's good. I like him, to be honest. But he's an intelligent player, so he celebrates, and he deserves to celebrate wherever the hell he wants, to be honest with you, because he's been through it and he's come out the other side. And I like that a lot.
Okay, Sarah, your message to Tommy Conway, if he's watching, would be what?
Oh, that's harsh. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I would say really, but just keep going. I think he just needs to keep his head up and keep going, and something needs to go in for him. I agree, probably needs to come out the team. He was desperately trying on Saturday. He didn't get a kick on Saturday, so it was a really tough game for him. He didn't get an opportunity. But yeah, you can see how desperately he wants it. He's trying ever so hard, but sometimes that's too much. But yeah, and going back to Morgan Whittaker, I just think, and people, that tweet said, what they should be looking at themselves. But we paid a lot of money for Morgan Whittaker as well. So, I think he was expected to go in and score goals. So yeah, I think once these guys start hitting it, I think we've got a good chance. I'm getting a bit excited about this team, to be honest. And I think I was a bit nervous before, but I think looking at what I saw, I feel excited coming from that game, surprisingly, because it was random game. But yeah, I hope he just keeps his head. I hope he keeps his head up, and I hope he keeps going. And I hope the new coach can instill something in him and give him some confidence.
Yeah.
Do you think? I remember seeing an interview with him. It may have been the beginning of the season, and he said when Carrick was focusing on, or was it Edwards, was trying to get him to run just between the box to try and focus on just getting in the box to score the goals. And I think that's kind of gone because he's not scoring. I think he's putting so much effort and endeavour into, for example, like a 50-yard chasing the keeper down.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I thought the fans love it because it's a bit of effort, but the end product of it is nothing, and he's wasting energy. And he's quite a few times he comes sprinting back to cover on the left or the right, and you're thinking, like, as a team, you love that, but your job is up there to score goals. Like, save your energy. I know he's got loads of energy, but save it for when the balls come in, so you're that extra yard sharper. The amount of balls we put in at the weekend from Bangura and Britain from wide areas, you're thinking surely like a run just in front of the near post for a flick on or something, but you don't know whether he's that tired because of the amount of work he's doing and he's not making them runs, or because his confidence is shot. But you think, just kind of like calm yourself down because it'll come. Do you know what I mean? I think the majority of the fans, they want him to do well, but obviously his numbers just aren't producing this season so far. So
Okay. Finally, on the Conway one, Sean, Son T says Conway is becoming like Watmore. He's a great lad and personality, but is probably better as an impact sub with his energy. Been out of it when he starts a bunch of games in a row. Do you agree with that, Sean?
I just think, as we've already mentioned between us, I think he's going through one of them patches, and it's okay to criticise him and say his output in terms of goals isn't enough, and it's all right to take him out the team and put maybe a Strelec and give him a run of games. I think part of the issue is we've tried to accommodate all three of those strikers, including Senny, that we've brought in, and sometimes it's a bit square pegs in round holes. Like we'll play Tommy off the left sometimes, and then Senny will come on and play the left. Strelec will be in a 10. And for me, it's a bit like if they're all nines, they're nines. Let them have a run. And if it's 2 games a week, bring somebody else in for the Tuesday game or something like that. I think something will go in, but I agree. Take him out for a little bit, but give somebody a run in that 9. Don't just keep shuffling somebody back to accommodate somebody coming in. Let Strelec be the number 9 for a bunch of games and see how he gets on. And hopefully, Conway's attitude is normally pretty spot on. When he comes in, he'll be chomping at the bit to get on a goal sheet himself. But his attitude's spot on, as we've mentioned. I don't agree. Some people are like, get out of my club and all this. I just don't understand that mentality. The lad's going through a barren spell, which is understandable. So just stick with him.
Yeah, you know what? There's Sarah picked up on it. And I'm spotting it myself more and more. There's a certain resilience about this team and camaraderie, that's been even more so in the last couple of games. So although the Coventry result didn't go for us, I spotted it. And it comes from people like Jones and at the back, and it comes from Britain. You can see the way that they celebrate or berate themselves when things aren't working. You've got the experience of Target and Brown and that kind of stuff. And I'm saying this because therefore it doesn't. Yes, you want Conway to score, but it's not the big deal. There's a whole spirit about the team that says, yeah, you know what, over 46 games, you're going to have a few tough moments. And if you're going out for a few games, out you go. But you're still part of the team, still part of the squad. Yeah, and get yourself ready. And so when you do come back in, you're firing all cylinders. And I like that about the team a lot. There seems to be a right resilience about them and a good spirit.
Okay. Stay tuned, because coming up, these 4 are going to get into a very big discussion and debate about who should get in the Middlesbrough Hall of Fame for the letter H. Lots of debate coming up for that. I may leave them to it, actually. Before that, though, let's have a look at the Christmas fixtures. We all love the Christmas season, Craig. Yeah, is it the best time of the year for football? Do you like it, or do you prefer like having a winter break?
Oh no, I love it. Like, the more games, the better. It's brilliant, isn't it? And especially, like, even games, like, they just ploughed in. Like, apart from Christmas Day, there's probably, like, 2 games a day. Yeah. So even if Boro aren't playing, there's something on TV or there's highlights to watch and something like that. So, and plus, if you can get a run together, like, this is why I'm a bit excited about Christmas, because I love Christmas anyway, like, Santa's coming in now. But there's like, if you can get a run together, we're notoriously bad around Christmas, but if we can get a run together now, and Kim can get like his team together and his formation and a system, going into Christmas with like 2-3 games a week, 4 games sometimes even, you're thinking, Jesus, we could take off. Do you know what I mean? And like everyone's already said, we've had Edwards has left. So we had all the changes in the summer about the team. Edwards has left. We've had a new manager. The injuries we've got, he's going to have to find himself. And we're second, and we haven't got a good scorer. No one's scoring goals, and we're second. So if this can gel, and over Christmas, banging. Well, how many games do you play like in like December and beginning of Jan? Is that like about 10 or something?
Yeah, well, we'll run through them. Yeah, so you got the double header against Hull, which is weird, isn't it? You got this team you play for, so 2 games in 4 weeks. Then we got 8 games. Well, 7 games between now and the 1st of January, which is mad, isn't it? And teams actually that are struggling at the moment. Charlton are struggling defensively. QPR on the road are awful. Bristol City are very beatable at home. Hull are leaking goals. I mean, they score a lot of them, but they leak goals as well. And Blackburn themselves are struggling a little bit as well. So, yeah, Sarah, this could be a really good month for Boro, couldn't it?
I mean, we'll not win at Bristol City, just for the record, because we never win at Bristol City. But yeah, I actually think, I mean, we play Derby again as well. I mean, there's some really winnable games there. I mean, Charlton are not in good form. Hull is probably the trickiest of the lot, based on current form. I mean, I didn't see much of the game yesterday. It was on in the pub where I was, but they look handy. And there's a bit of we've got Crooks and Giles there who will add a little bit of spice to things, no doubt. And then we've got Jones, of course. So yeah, I think could be interesting. I'm excited about that period. There's some definite winnable games there for sure.
Okay. The one fixture on there, Sean, that's not on it is the FA Cup third round draw, which is going to be made next week. I don't think I need to ask you this question because I know what you're going to say, but which team would you like in the third round draws if we all couldn't guess?
I remember saying this last year. I'm not really that fussed about the cup. It's a good one-off game, but I just think with the injuries that we're having, I don't really want that distraction. I just want us to keep going in the league. I mean, obviously derbies and stuff are great in the cup, but then the way that some of those are playing down the road from us, I don't really fancy hiding off any of them, to be honest, at the minute. Yeah, I'm too focused on the league. Anybody, not bothered.
Okay.
I just want one team.
I thought that's what Sean was going to say. Yeah, go on.
I just want Wolves.
You want Wolves, of course you do. Yeah, Wolves at home.
Yeah, but imagine his smug face if we got them.
I don't care if they win or lose. 90 minutes of just.
It's going to happen, isn't it? It's going to happen. Wolves at Middlesbrough against Wolves in the FA Cup third round. Brilliant. Let's manifest it now. Brilliant. Right then, I am going to leave you to have a little chat then about who gets in the A to Z for Middlesbrough with the letter H. This will be a nice, long and lengthy debate. So I will bid you farewell. But do subscribe and press the like button. And here comes, who gets in for the letter H for the Boro.
Right, who's going to go first with the H's?
Go on, Craig.
Oh, man, might take a while.
You've got to say less than 20 minutes, though.
We've got Grant Hall, who had some beautiful sideburns. We've obviously got our Aiden and Jack Harrison. We had him on loan, but I've got a few H's. Hull City. Last season, Johnny Howson in the away end singing. Yeah. The Hammers. West Ham. Do you remember when Johnny Howson was playing against West Ham and he caught a pigeon on the pitch? Who else has ever manhandled? He caught a pigeon on the pitch, halfway line, away at Man City. He scored a goal. Johnny Howson scored a goal. It was like Maradona in '86. He turned David Silva inside out. Yaya Toure couldn't catch him. He put Lescott on his ass. He knocked Michael Richards over and then put it through Joe Hart's legs. It was, oh Christ! It wasn't even for Boro. Do you know what? I don't even care. And then this was my little Johnny Howson. So can I say? So that's his cup shirt again when we played Chelsea in the semi-final when we got battered. Last season's third. No, that was 2017. They're all tiny, they're all small because he's so physique. His physique's so small.
Greg, are they off his washing line or?
They're actually from his wardrobe in Johnny Howson's house.
Oh
my God, he got his shorts.
His shorts. Johnny Howson's manhood has been in these. His baby makers. I love the man. Well, that's all. Do you know what I mean? 300, nearly 350 appearances. Like he'd still be here if it was up to him. Like I just love him. But yeah, he's my H anyway.
Okay, who's gonna go next? Apologize.
Well, I got to follow it with seriously. For me, the only one who can go in. There's only one choice for the H's. It has to be, and it has to be George Hardwick. It's got to be. He's got a statue outside the ground. Where's Johnny Howson's statue?
I'm still making it.
No, I was, obviously none of us saw him play, but I had a quick look at his, in terms of the man and that. He was rated as one of the best defenders in the world when he played for us. I didn't know as well. 1937 he came to us. Yeah, it was the war years that buggered us. We finished 5th and then 4th, and then the World War II broke out. We were on the march to becoming champions. And then it was only Hardwick.
World War II in the March. Like adult.
Well, yeah, that team with Mannion and in it, it was a cracker of a team. And Hardwick, he went to Oldham for some decent fee as well at the time. So, and he was England captain 13. What the hell are you doing? 13 times he played for England, and 13 times he was captain. So, man, he was recognised, revered, and for all the right reasons. And I don't know many players at Boro who were worldwide recognised as what he was and as revered as him. So emotionally, I do have other H's, and I think probably you guys are going to pick on them now. I like the other H's, but emotionally, of course. But pragmatically, I've got to say Hardwick.
I've got this for you, Jonathan. So this is an original 1946-47 team poster. And George, there he is.
Gentleman George. I think with his moustache, he was a pin-up boy as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was handsome. That's what I heard. Yeah, he's handsome.
Yeah. So that's was it 60, 46? I don't know how old that is. 8 years. Yeah, I remembered them.
You've got a room full of Boro memorabilia in there.
Oh, you know what? The other thing you've got to say, you said about Howson being in the way, and George Hardwick, we went to all the Boro games. I mean, he passed away 20 years ago, but he went to all the home games as well as a fan.
Yes, he did.
He kept going. He was born in Saltburn, that neck of the woods, and he was Boro through and through. So
that's now an emotional
that as well.
That's now an emotional attachment. Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Right,
Sean,
anyway.
do you want to go next?
Yeah, I'll do mine. Obviously, it's difficult to ignore Hardwick, and John Hickton as well is one I want to mention. A lot of people that I've spoken to, and my dad and a few others have mentioned he was a bit of a sort of a throwback, a proper centre forward, as some people might say, and so Hardwick and Hickton, obviously, for me, only in the spirit of how we've done it in the previous weeks, I wanted to talk about somebody that was like really a big thing about when I was growing up. My sort of like when Boro got the hooks into me, as it were, it was in the 90s, and Hignett. I loved Hignett because of how understated he was. He just got on with his job. He joined us when, before the big sort of Riverside boom, but he continued his career. And even in the Premier League, he was scoring goals, like the first sort of goal at the Riverside Stadium, and he rifled it in the top corner. It was a bit like Shearer-esque for me, when they beat Holland, it was 4-1. Such a brilliant finish. And like the goal against Man United at Old Trafford, I think it finished 3-3. Scoring against Liverpool in the League Cup. He's just a great servant for us. And even though he was a Scouser, he sort of felt like a Boro lad. It's like he's an adopted Middlesbrough lad. So I loved Hignett growing up. So he would have been mine, but I can't disagree really with Hardwick.
Oh, right. Okay. That's made it difficult for me. Well, my choice, unsurprisingly, is John Hendry. I have my Hendry shirt on as well, in homage to him. So John Hendry came to Boro. Well, ironically, my first ever game, he was on the pitch, but he was on the pitch for the opposition. So we played Bradford in the playoff semi-finals in '88. That was my first game. John Hendry played for Bradford then. And he then came to us via first Newcastle, then Leeds. So really two of our rivals. And then landed here in 1990. And he'd been here like 3 months before he scored that wonder goal against Millwall. I mean, seriously, and scored another wonder goal a month later against Norwich. That was just for me, because my previous favourite player was Colin Cooper, which I spoke about. And then Cooper had moved on and Hendry came in, and he was just brilliant. I loved everything about him, his character, his personality, the way he played the game. He just, for whatever reason, he connected with the Boro. He scored the last goal at Ayresome Park. I mean, and actually that got us promoted to the Premier. Well, that season he was top scorer, which got us to the Premier League.
Didn't he arrive as a winger, Sarah?
He did, because I've got 11 on my shirt. And of course, back then they wore the numbers of the positions, didn't they? So I've got 11 on this shirt, and this was 91, 92, I think, this shirt. Yeah. But he then played 7 and he played 10. he mainly played as a what they call nowadays like a 9.5. So sort of just behind Wilco mainly, if I remember that particular partnership.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was just incredible, and he was consistent, and and those years were brilliant. But also, he was replacing the team, I suppose you could argue, by Juninho, because he left. Juninho came in 94, 5, 4. We're going to have this conversation in a couple of weeks, aren't we? And John stayed on another 1 or 2 seasons, and he talked so fantastically about Juninho, how kind of he sort of handed the reins over to him, I guess, and just everything about him. He's still a big part of the club. He still just shows up and has just a huge personality and such a love for the club. I mean, he was at the Rob Edwards event that I was at in October. I think it was October. And he spoke afterwards, and he just loves the club. He loves everything about it. But I agree, he's probably not going to go in the Hall of Fame. So I'm not, that's a personal thing for me. Oh, forgot to mention, 14th birthday, came to my house. Must mention this. My auntie wrote to him at the training at the club. She just wrote to him and said, I was just a child, obviously. She's you're a hero, blah, 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 blah. And he wrote back to her and said, right, I'll come. Brought a birthday card for me, brought a signed football. I was so
That's
popular.
What Craig did for Howson, but it was the other way around. He went to Howson's house. His 30th, his 31st, his 32nd.
He's got cameras now. I don't like that.
He's got cameras now. Oh, yeah. But yeah, no, I think, I loved him. I thought he was just a huge part of that transition as well, from Ayresome Park to the Riverside and the Robbo era. He came in and he has some great stories as well. If you ever get to see him speak, he's got great stories about that time and what happened and things like that. But yeah, I mean, I can't disagree with Hardwick, of course. I'm also a big Hignett fan as well, I must say. I back that. We've got to put George. I think we would be probably lynched if we didn't put George Hardwick in, to be honest. Even though most of the people who will probably lynch us never saw him play, which is probably the biggest tragedy of it all. But yeah, I think. Sorry, Craig. I think we probably have to go.
No, I love him, but George. George, the man to be. He captained every England team, didn't he? And he captained Great Britain.
Yeah.
He played for Great Britain.
Yeah. Was he the only one to do both or something? Yeah.
Yeah, well, and he's I might have read it wrong, but I'm sure he captained every England game he played.
He did, yeah. He played 13 times for England, and he captained him 13 times. Well, you know what? When we first started talking about H's online, and we threw all the players in, I thought, it's going to be a bit of a row, this. But then you start reading about Hardwick, and it's like everyone's saying, hey, you can't really go, as good as Howson and Hignett and Hendry and Gary Hamilton, for example,
Hasselbank. Hasselbank. Don't forget Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank.
Yeah. All them. Hardwick just trumps them all when you read about them, I have to say.
Yeah.
Holgate.
Oh, no, Holgate as well. H is a good category for Boro.
It is. No, but yeah, so Hardwick's going in, I guess.
Agreed.
Okay. Then we will see everybody next week.
When is it, Jay? Is that for Johnny? Oh, bollocks. No, we've got Juninho then, haven't we?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right, okay. I think that's finally done. All right. Thanks, guys.
Right.
Done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
See you later.